And you know, it is often said that the greatest risk inside any organization is institutional blindness. It's when too many merchant bankers have been with too many other merchant bankers, or when too many people from the Pentagon to play too many war games with other people from the Pentagon. We need oxygen, and that's where actually innovation comes from. In fact, I'm really interested in where we get our best ideas from. I've been doing a global survey on this, looking at the answers that 15,000 senior executives, CEOs and chairmen of large companies have been saying about this issue. I'm interested where you get your best ideas from. I'm not just talking about an idea that later becomes an innovation, but I'm talking about an idea to unblock one of the great challenges that we've been hearing about today. Challenges inside your organizations. But it might be just an idea to stop the churn of some of your innovators inside an existing team. Now put your hands up if you get your best ideas in meetings at work. Put your hands up if you get your best ideas in the shower. Oh, that's really interesting. That's one of the most popular ones globally. That's, put your hands up if it comes in the bath. Never in the shower, but in the bath. Okay, one or two. Put your hands up if it comes at night. So often at night that you have to go to sleep with a piece of paper by your bed and a pen, which you'll write in darkness in case you wake up this person who's sleeping next to you, but nevertheless you write in the night. Put your hands up if you get ideas in the night. You know, what's really interesting about these places where we get these ideas, they all have one thing in common, which is they're unintentional. They're the places we spontaneously invent. It is almost impossible to innovate in an intentional manner, I would argue. I would argue that, in fact, all the greatest innovations in history have been accidental. All the greatest geniuses have had their most genius ideas when they weren't looking for them. Now, what does that tell us about innovation? What it tells us is that many of our processes are defective. We've got teams which are engineered to innovate, and then we wonder why they lack genius, when actually what we need to do is to tell them to go and have a shower at home, and after they've done that, to go and sleep for a very long time. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because I think there are some aspects of medical tech that apply, where the answers we need are so complicated that they will not come through an engineered thought process. I'll give you an example where I'm expecting breakthrough technologies to happen. It's not in any one of these spheres. You see, in the olden days, life was very simple. We'd say we have a biotech team, or we'd say we have a mobile connectivity team, or we have the world's largest computers also working with nanotech. For me, I tell you this, all the most exciting areas of medtech that I'm seeing right now are fusions of several different kinds of teams. And the biggest risk I'm seeing in medtech right now is that almost every single medtech startup I see are one discipline teams. It's a physicist, and maybe you get an engineer, and if you're lucky you get a gene therapist in there as well, and a couple of mathematicians, but there it stops. I'm seeing very narrow specialty bases inside many medtech companies, even mature, even very large ones, who had a fantastic success with one runaway product, and then they came back in with the same skill set to produce another one, and then another one. And we've been hearing these kinds of stories, but they're quite focused and narrow, and I want to suggest to you that the world is changing too fast for them. You see, stuff happens, and all innovation happens on the outer edge of the radar screen. And I can tell you that most of the largest corporations in the world that I work with are seeing their strategies consistently overtaken by events. And I believe that this same thing is going to happen to a high percentage of the medtech companies today that are currently successful. Stuff happens. It doesn't matter who you are or what it is that you're looking for. Stuff happens. And all things connect together to all other things in our joined-up world. A single event in Japan that lasts 5 minutes is enough to transform the energy policy of Germany for the next 35 years, and the energy policy of Japan too. That in itself will have further knock-ons and consequences for the way our world operates and affects the global economy. A single mutant virus that attacks only 862 people, only 8,600 people, of which 860 died. I, of course, am talking about SARS. That was enough not only to disrupt the parts of the global economy, enough not only to ground every single plane in much of Asia, but was also enough to transform the whole of public policy worldwide, which is why we were better placed when swine flu came along. It's affected the whole way we think about threat. And these things, as I say, all connect to just about everything else as well. And while we may say that a presidential election may not affect medtech too much, I think it may affect it more than we think.